Greetings all, we're coming at you here from the camper van. We've got a nice sunny warm day on our hands. It was kind of rainy the last couple days, gray and rainy and wet outside, so it's cooped up for a little bit, but we're going to try to spend as much time outside today as possible, enjoy the nice weather. Looking ahead, it looks like we're going to start seeing more and more rain here in Washington, so it looks like summer may have turned here. So I'm working on getting my outdoor kitchen set up here because of the rainy weather. I was doing a lot of cooking inside, but now that it's warmed up and clear, I'm going to get my propane stove set up out there and the grill probably going as well. One of the challenges with propane stoves is knowing when your tank is almost empty. A lot of times it's hard to tell. For the bulk tanks, they do have these little gauges and that you can get, but those really don't work. The best way to go is by weight, so I'll show you how I do that. So here's my little bulk propane tank, refillable tank that I've been using for, gosh, probably 7 years now. This holds 1 gallon of propane, so what I have done is figured out when it's totally empty. I took a Sharpie and wrote on there the weight of the tank when it's totally empty, and then also the weight of the tank when it's totally full. But anyway, I figured out that it's 14.6 when it's totally full and 10.6 when it's totally empty. So when I'm getting to the point to where I just feel like I've been using it enough, this will usually last me with cooking every day with propane a good few months. So it's pretty efficient the way I use it. So what I use to weigh this tank is a luggage scale. You can get these at like Walmart for pretty cheap. Alright, so how I use this is I just attach that strap there. It just clips on, turn it on, and just hold it to let it zero out. Make sure there's no weight on that strap. And then you just go ahead and lift it up. Make sure the tank is fully suspended. And it'll jump around there, and it usually settles on a weight and beeps. Just make sure it's fully lifted. But we're going to say it's just under 12.5 pounds. So that means I've definitely got a couple pounds worth of propane in there, and that'll last me quite a bit, basically right around half. So I've got a little ways to go, probably get another good few weeks of cooking out of this. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this outside and get my outdoor stove set up. So for those of you that haven't seen my indoor cooking setup in my little self-built camper van here, this is my Dometic propane cooktop there. I cut this piece of board to fit right in the top. The factory setup, they have an accessory glass top that you can use, but I thought the glass just didn't seem like a good idea going down dirt roads and that. So yeah, this burner works pretty good. Of course, I've got the tank unhooked, so I can't turn it on, but it puts out a nice low pressure cooking flame. A little bit different than the outdoor camp stove that I use, which is more of a higher pressure setup. So the flame kind of comes jetting out of there more. This is more like a typical household gas range. So been really happy with that, but of course it's attached to the inside, so that's why I kept my old outdoor one, 2-burner one. We'll show you that, the Camp Chef, so I can bring it outside and cook outside. Okay, this is my 2-burner propane stove here. This is the Camp Chef Everest model. It's one of the bigger ones they make. Folds up pretty compact. Just put out these little sides here. It's, you know, pretty much like your standard Coleman. It's just a little bit wider than most 2-burner stoves, so you've got room for bigger pans when they're in there. It has a little electric igniter. So I purchased a special hose from Camp Chef to go with it that screws directly into the stove and then goes directly to a bulk tank adapter with the high pressure regulator built right into it, so you don't need to use the regulator that comes with the stove. I've got that set aside somewhere. And this will screw right into a bulk tank, super handy. So I'll be doing that here when I'm ready to cook. And yeah, it's been a good stove. I've had this for probably 5 years now. I just got done cleaning it and lined it with aluminum foil there to make the next cleanup a little easier. And I've got my little fold-up charcoal grill, so I think we're going to be doing some patty melts for late lunch, early dinner today. So we'll grill up some onions and get the burgers cooked up and finish them off on the stove there to grill up the bread. Should be a good meal. Anyway, it's been a while since I've used this and cooked outside, so it's feeling good. I've got the sun shining on me here. Nice little backdrop here, so we'll get that going in a minute. Okay, it is time to get cooking here. We're gonna do some grilled onions on these patty melts. In my opinion, a patty melt should be made on rye bread, but I don't have rye bread, so we're going to be using sourdough. And typically an American or a cheddar cheese with grilled onions. With the burger patty, just going to use 2 big nice thick slices of onion there to fry up in a pan. Okay, we're getting our pan heated up here. We'll get a nice chunk of butter in there for these onions. We are in Washington, so we got to go with this Seattle sourdough. It's pretty decent bread. This is the round loaf, so it should be good for a patty melt. I've had this sourdough before. It's pretty darn good. Meanwhile, over here we got our coals nice and hot. Made these patties up a little earlier. I always just do a little bit of salt and pepper. And I like to make them nice and thin for the patty melts anyway. And this fold-up grill is great. I really enjoy using this, but it does not come with a lid. And I've found that it's tough to cook stuff without a lid outdoors because you've got a breeze and it takes away a lot of the heat. So I just use my 10-inch cast iron skillet. Usually fits over what I'm cooking, traps in that heat. I had that sitting on there too before I put the burgers on, so it's already good and hot. So those burgers are going to cook pretty quick. Come check them here in a couple minutes, give them a flip, and be good to go. Got to get the cheese ready. This spatula here I carved myself. This is ash wood that I got from one of my uncles back east from his property. Been using this for quite a few years. It's been a good little spatula. Anyway, let's give a check on our burgers here. Oh yeah, I think we're ready for a flip. Perfect. Nice. Moving right along. Those are going to be done pretty quick. I think we are ready to get these patties off here. Don't want them overdone. Oh yeah. Can tell those are ready. We'll get those assembled and that cheese will melt once we're grilling up the bread. Those onions are looking good. That's what I'm looking for there, is that little bit of browning. So we're gonna go ahead and shut the heat off for a second. Get everything assembled. Might just add a little bit more butter in there and get that bread toasted up. That cheese melted. This is how we're doing it. We're doing super cheesy patty melts. So we're gonna go down with a slice of Swiss on one side, couple slices of cheddar on the other, and get our patties on. Boom, then time for the grilled onions. We'll have that slice of Swiss going on top of the onions for some melty goodness. No mayo or mustard or anything. It's all about the cheese. Okay, move over some of those onions there. We go with that Swiss. Put our lid on. Yeah, okay, it's time to get those in the pan. Actually have the heat off still. That pan is plenty hot. We'll get it cranked back on for a little bit. Here we go. Going in one side. We'll add some more butter when we do the other side. These are gonna be good. Smash them down a little bit. I've got this plate here actually acts as a cover for this pan, so we're just gonna let those get all grilled and melty. Okay, I just gave those a flip. That's what we're going for, that nice buttery grilled goodness. Cheese looks like it's melting. Let that second side grill up, and it's gonna be feeding time. We got Hobbs here on cleanup patrol, making sure that there's no dropped scraps or any food remnants. I think it's pretty clean, dude. I don't think you're gonna find anything. Okay, I think it's time. Oh yeah, looking fantastic. Sure that heat is off. Okay, and I think we're gonna give these the old cut in half and get a nice cross section. Oh yeah, these are gonna be good. Got those grilled onions in there, melted Swiss and cheddar. That's gonna be a good little sandwich. Man, I can smell those onions. It smells so good. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be well worth the effort. Sorry, Hobbs, we got kibble for you. We're gonna have to give this the old taste test here. I wish they had rye bread, but the sourdough, that'll work. Plenty of butter for the grilled onions and grilling the bread. Turns out so good. Mmm.
Love me some sourdough.
How was it? All right, well, we're gonna sit down here and enjoy this meal. Feed Hobbs here next, and yeah, enjoy this last bit of daylight before it cools off. I'm gonna run inside. Okay, Hobbs, sit. Sit. No, you sit. Stay. 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 Okay, good boy. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us on this one. Hope you're doing well out there, and we should be moving on to a new camp, doing some more exploring around the state of Washington here before winter hits. So we got that to look forward to in the next video. Hope you're all doing well out there. We'll see you soon. Take care. Peace.